Spencer's a competitor, so of course he's going to be hard on himself. Just like the whole team, we got to push through these 2 losses and just focus on this week because that's all we can do. Focus is on Michigan State and what we can do this upcoming Saturday. Spencer's been great. He's been positive, been a leader, and we expect nothing less from him. The 24-hour rule, that was in place. And we just can't dread on the last week. All the guys have forgotten about it, and all we can do, like I said, is move on to Michigan State. Just got to keep winning the weeks, keep winning the days, and I think if we do that, we might, get the outcome that we want. I wish I knew, but it just comes down to execution. It's not like we're not trying to score points in the second half. It just hasn't been going our way. Just big focus is execution, and just try to push that ball through in the second half and just finish games.
Yeah, it's definitely a big difference from last year. Last year was something to get used to for me. But these last 2 weeks have been like playing on the road in Division II. Definitely, I'm used to that environment. Yeah, he's a good quarterback. He has he's not like he's not a big runner, but he has the ability to run, and that's something that we need to stop, obviously. I know the Northwestern quarterback gave us some fits with that, and he's kind of the same kind of guy. So we really need to limit that. He's good with his deep ball, so we got to get a lot of pressure this week. They did. Michigan's definitely a much different defensive team than us. They like to run a lot of man, run a lot of pressures. That's not exactly who we are, but there's definitely some things on film that we like.
Looking at the film, they do have a pretty talented group, a few receivers that stand out. And this is a challenge like every week, trying to play personnel and knowing how good guys are and tendencies they like to do. So I would say like every week is a challenge, but, we just got to go out and practice hard, watch the film, see what kind of tendencies they like to do, and, do our best on game day. I just feel like in the beginning of the season before when we said I feel like I could play both, and it's just like trying to – all this time in preseason, is trying to build a comfortability level in both cash and safety. And Kayvon, he's a great player, made great plays. And, we have a lot of people in our backfield that, can make plays. We're just trying to get the best people on the field to, help our defense. So, like I said earlier, I'll play whatever. And if Kayvon's making plays, that's great for our team. I feel like more so last week, we just started to fly around the ball, get as many hits to the ball as we can. The first game we weren't running to the ball, all 11. I felt like we did that better last week, and that starts in practice. And we're trying to do that in practice, match the intensity. And I feel like, all aspects, we're not perfect anywhere. We just have to, in practice, build on every aspect, whether we did good or bad. And we just try to get better on everything to be a well-rounded defense and, to help the team out the best we can.
Honestly, it all happened pretty quickly. I was sitting in my room at home, and then on a Thursday night, and my coach back home in Australia rang me and just said, you're gonna be leaving this weekend. So I had to quarantine up in Sydney for a couple of weeks, and then got the plane over here, and then another few days quarantine here as well. But just really good to be finally out. Obviously, a couple of months in now, I'm really enjoying it. Jeff. So we obviously back home in Australia, like NFL is televised, and there's a little bit of college football, and I'd watched it most Saturdays and Sundays, especially when I found out that I kind of wanted to give this a go. But yeah, Purdue was the first time that I'd ever stepped foot on a football stadium. So yeah, it was certainly quite the experience, even without fans. I didn't actually realise how big the stadiums were until I got here. It was certainly different. So back home in Australia, we play Aussie rules football, and I'd kind of always been a relatively big kick of that football. And then a couple of my friends just said, look, there's Aussie guys over in America punting. Why don't you have a look into it? And I kind of just looked into it, and I thought, well, what have I got to lose? It's a great opportunity. And then so I joined Pro Kick Australia in the middle of last year, and John A. Smith and Nathan Chapman, I owe all my credit to them. Because without them, I certainly wouldn't be here. And they're like two of the best coaches and two of the best people I've ever met in my life. And I'm really grateful that they've got me into this position. I think it's just the different tools that we have and the different tricks. And here you guys grow up throwing the baseball or throwing the football, whereas back home we grew up kicking the football. So I've been kicking an Aussie rules ball or a football for 20 years, literally since I came out of the womb, pretty much. But I've only been kicking the American football for probably 18 months now. So that was an adjustment in itself. But yeah, I think the main reason is, like I said, we grew up kicking the football, whereas you guys grew up throwing it, I guess.
Saturday is very important, along with every other Saturday. 0-2 is obviously very frustrating for this team, and we want to do better, and we will do better. But I think from now on, it's all about taking baby steps and improving, and knowing that we're ready every Saturday to compete and win games. Yes. Team, because of our frustration of losing, this team is very eager to win. You know, like I say, 0-2 is very frustrating. Leadership has definitely grown, and I think those losses has brought us more together and made us stronger to win games in the future. Michigan State, they're a heavy box team, one high safety. So the main thing for us is just getting to know how their backers play, whether they're overplaying or slow playing, and how their front on the D-line play. They're a good defense, and we have a pretty good offense. It's just all about the technical things and what we can do better to improve and be successful in the run game. That's not up to me. That's up to the coaching staff. But personally, I think I could take as many carries as they give me. Or it's just like if a coach comes to me and asks me to play a different position, I'll do that. If they want me to go out and carry the ball 25, 30 times, I'll do it. If they want me to go out on the field and carry the ball 12, 15 times, I'll do it. So it just varies for me, and whatever they want me to do for them, and I'll do.